Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got in a flashlight from Wurkkos to take a look at. This is the TS23. This is not a brand new release. This has been out for probably 6-7 months, but they just released a new color, which is green. But as always, we'll do a real quick unboxing, go over all the features and specifications, go over the user interface, give you guys some beam shots, and then give some thoughts on it. Over the last couple years, Wurkkos has really improved their packaging. It's very nice now. But as you can see, we have 5,000 lumens, 482 meters of throw. There's your LED that they're using. Some of the other numbers on it. We'll go over some of that stuff later. But let's get it out here. So they use like those magnetic boxes. So again, really nice. So we have a manual here. Looks like some spare O-rings and then a lanyard. A charging cable. We have an A to C. That is like a rubberized, feels pretty decent. And then the light itself, try to get it all out of here. And I believe there's likely a battery in here since we have that charging cable. Gotta remove that film. And yeah, it does include a battery. It's a 21700, 5000 milliamp hours. Quickly show you guys this owner's manual. Just in case you get this light and lose this, you'll have this for reference. So before we start going over all the specs and features, give you guys some close-ups here. They're calling this an olive green. As you can see, it's fairly compact, smaller than a dollar bill. Exact dimensions is we're about 5.42 on the length. Head diameter is 1.61. Body should be around an inch, 1.05. And we're looking at a weight with the battery inside of it, 8.2 ounces. So like most flashlights nowadays, this is made out of a 6061 aluminum. It does have some type of hard anodization on it. It's supposed to be like anti-scratch. It has an IP68 water resistance rating. It has orange peel reflector. That LED is an XHP 70.3. And the tint on it, or color temperature, is 6,000 to 6,500 Kelvin. We have a crenulated bezel, and it does have some like glass breaker beads that are on each of those. Got some deep heat sinks here on the head to kind of reduce some of the heat. Some ribbing here through the body. Does have a pocket clip that looks to be some type of like stainless steel. It does not match the head there exactly. That's some type of like almost like a nickel finish, and this is definitely like a shinier. I kind of wish those matched, or I wish it was black. We have a charging port there. Again, that is the USB-C. Pop that open, show you guys. It was actually a good seal. It made a noise right there when I just moved that. Right there's our lanyard spot, and then our electronic switches back here. Couple of safety features is it does have reverse polarity protection, so if you put the battery in backwards, it's not going to burn anything or fry anything up. It has advanced temperature regulation, so if the light gets too hot, it will automatically dim down to protect it. And it does have a low voltage warning. So this TS23 is kind of like having two flashlights in one, as there's two different modes that you can use. There's an outdoor mode and a tactical mode. It comes shipped in the outdoor mode, and it's honestly just like a single press turns the light on, a single press turns the light off. If you want to run through the different outputs, it's just once it's on, just press and hold, and that will cycle you through all of the outputs. And again, here's all of your outputs, your run times, and the beam distance. So besides these four that it cycles through here, there's also a moonlight mode. I think it's a 10 lumen mode. You get to that by just having the light off and then pressing and holding this rear switch for a few seconds. And then that's a really low output. There's also a turbo mode, and you can get to that with the light on or off. We're off right now. It's just 2 clicks. And then that's going to give you that 5,000 lumens. I know it says the runtime's 2.5 hours. I'll kind of test this out and see how long it goes before it actually steps down and let you guys know. And so if the light were off and you go into the turbo, when you hit this, it shuts the light back off. Let's say that you're on though in one of the lower settings. You can go to turbo from here. All right. And then when you don't need turbo any longer, it will go back to that lower setting. I absolutely love that feature. There's very few lights that do that. You know, imagine this being like your bedside light and you get up in the middle of the night, you heard something and you don't want to like blind yourself. So you want to have it on this lower output. And then you think that you do see or hear something, you can go right up to that turbo. And then let's say nothing was there, well then you can just go right back to the lower output again. It's an awesome feature. Another thing you can do is from that turbo, not really sure why you'd want to do this, but you can. You can double click again and go from turbo to moonlight. And you can see it's that really low output again. All right, next part of the video, I'm going to show you some strobes. So if you're sensitive to that, just fast forward a minute or so. You can get to strobe either from on or off. So we're off right now. It's just 3 clicks. And then 1 click will just take you right back off. Same thing as with the turbo. We can be on. I'll go up a little bit higher. So we can be in this mode right here. And I can go into strobe from here. And then I can hit and go back to that output I was at. Again, I absolutely love that feature. I can't stress how nice that is to have that on a light. And besides strobe, we have SOS and a beacon mode. So we're going back into strobe here. And then just 3 more clicks will take us to the next one. So that's our SOS. And then 3 more clicks will take us to beacon. And that's just a single flash every so many seconds. The light does have a lockout mode to prevent that button from accidentally getting hit. And you get to that by being off and pressing this 4 times. And we flashed right there. And now when I try to hit the button, it'll just flash. It won't actually come on. So if it's in a bag or a pocket or anything like that and this button gets hit, you don't have to worry about that coming on and burning something. So I told you it also has a tactical mode. The way we get to that is we turn the light on and any output, doesn't matter. And then while it's on, you press this 4 times. Got a couple flashes, it went real bright. So now we're in tactical mode. So in tactical mode, every single time you turn the light on, you're going to be in that turbo setting. Whereas like on outdoor, it had mode memory and then you would have to hit it multiple times to get to turbo. Here, every press goes right into that turbo. You can get to a medium setting when you're in tactical mode, but those are the only 2 like output levels that you can get. So we turn on, we're in turbo. You hold that, it will dim down to medium. When you're in this tactical mode, you can still get to a moonlight mode the exact same way that you did in the outdoor mode. You just press and hold for a few seconds and it comes on and you're in that same 10 lumen low output. Tactical mode also has the same strobe, SOS, and beacon. I'll show you that again. From here though, you only have to do 2 clicks. When we're in outdoor, it was 3 clicks. So here's strobe warning again. 2 clicks takes you into it. 2 clicks will go to the next one, the SOS. And 2 clicks will take you to that beacon. I don't know if you've noticed this little light coming on every time that I turn the light on. It's kind of hard to see, but right now it's showing a yellow. That's our battery status indicator. Basically, if it's green, it means we're somewhere between like 75 to 100%. If it's yellow like it is right now, we're somewhere between 50 and 75%. If it's red, we're somewhere between 50 and 25%. And if it's flashing red, it's below 25%. It does have that low voltage protection. I think if the battery gets down below 2.8 volts, the light just will not work. It's just a way of protecting that battery. I am going to get this charged up before I do any nighttime beam shots. If you notice that the charging port is all the way down here by the tail, I've actually never seen a flashlight do this. They're always up here along the head somewhere. Supposedly this has something to do with like heat dissipation, just because of how much heat is generated up here. Put in the charging port here. I don't know all the science behind it, but it's supposed to make the flashlight way more efficient. Get that plugged in, and you can see that we're red when charging, and that'll turn green when it's fully charged. All right, give you guys some nighttime shots here with the TS23. Keep in mind I am recording with an iPhone, which auto adjusts, so whatever you see, it probably is a little bit brighter in person. But let's start off here with the moonlight first. But as you can see, even moonlight actually lights things up really well. And then let's go up into the eco. All right, then we got the low, medium, high. That is very bright. Now let's go to the turbo. You can really see that hot spot on the wall over there. Pretty much lights up the entire wall. I mean, the whole room is lit up, but you can really see the hot spot across that wall there. And I'll also show you guys the strobe here. All right, try to show you this TS23 outside. As you can see, it's not the darkest of nights. I'll just go straight into the turbo here. This tree's about 80 yards or so away right now. See how this lights that up very well. Let's come over this way. Give you guys a couple more examples here. Again, straight to turbo. These trees across the street over there, those are about 200 feet away, maybe 250. And again, you could easily spot an animal or anything up in those. Show you this with the light off. Then back on. Well, hopefully those nighttime beam shots were somewhat beneficial for you. Keep in mind, I do record with an iPhone, and it always auto adjusts the exposure. So sometimes when you go from medium to high, it almost looks like it's the same brightness, but it's just the phone adjusting. When I did the outside recording with the TS23, I was on a golf course fairway, which is about 400 yards long, and I could easily see trees that were about 300 yards away from me. And again, it wasn't the brightest of nights, and it was snowing that night. So this is a very, very bright light. I did want to quickly show you guys what this looks like down in a pocket. It is a fairly deep carry. The head on it is a little bit big, obviously, so you may feel that, especially if you're wearing jeans. It might not be as noticeable if you're wearing like loose fitting, like cargo pants or something like that, but yeah, it goes down in there pretty deep. If you don't like that green color, they obviously have it in black as well. Also want to show you that any 21-700 will work, but while I have it apart, I'll show you guys the dual springs in there. And again, that will tell us which direction we need to put the battery in. And let's see if it works. Yep, everything looks fine with it. We'll run through all the outputs. So what are my thoughts on this TS23? I'll start off with some of the pros. I think that it has really good build quality. The fit and finish on it are superb. I don't see any issues, no blemishes on anything of any kind. I think that it has excellent output. That 5,000 lumens is plenty bright to do anything that you'll probably ever need. And on the higher setting, it has a 1800 lumens. It maintains that for a really long time, for sure at least 10 minutes. I've turned it on and basically will just kind of watch it to see if I can see it like stepping down or dimming down. And on the high setting, I don't see it. The user interface on this light is super simple. even though there are multiple modes and stuff like that. And when I mean simple, you could hand this to somebody who's never used a flashlight in their lives, and they could figure out how to push a button to turn it on and how to push a button to turn it off. And honestly, even switching between the different brightness levels is easy, and switching between the tactical and the outdoor mode is pretty easy as well. I like that you can use any 21700 battery in it. It's not proprietary or anything. And this one actually has a really good capacity of that 5,000 milliamp hours. Some of my other ones are only 4,000. And I also like that you can do onboard charging with it, so you don't have to have a separate battery charger. But if you do have one that's nice, you can just pull the battery out and use it in your other charger. So it gives you lots of options. I like the fact that this light is very budget friendly, and it's using a pretty popular LED and buck driver, which usually go in much more expensive lights. And I like the fact that you are kind of getting two lights in one. A few things I didn't like about the light. The first is this moonlight mode. This 10 lumens is just a little bit too bright. I wish it was more like 1 lumen or even like a half lumen. So I mentioned in the pros that it had really good output on the high, that it maintained it for over 10 minutes or so. Not quite the same with the turbo, the 5,000 lumens. That probably only lasts about 20 seconds or so, and then you can see a really sharp drop off. I'd say it's probably half of the output. So let's just say 2,000 some lumens, and then it'll keep that for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, which is pretty decent. And then there's a really noticeable step off again, probably half of that, so maybe 1,000. And once it steps down to that 1,000 or so, it will maintain that until the battery basically dies out of it. And during any of those step downs, you actually can go back up to the turbo just by double pressing again. And my last kind of complaint is this shiny pocket clip. I just kind of wish it matched like that titanium or nickel up there, or if it was even black, but that's just me being petty. There's nothing wrong with the clip. So I looked through the manual and on the box for the warranty, and I couldn't find anything specific other than it just says contact us during the warranty period. But I'm pretty sure that it's a full year from the date of purchase, that you can get a full replacement if something happens to the light. So at the time of me recording this video, these are listed at $60 on Amazon, but there's also a 35% off coupon, which brings them down into the upper 30s. And then there's also some codes that you can click. So I'd say you should expect somewhere between the mid 30s to upper 30s, for it, which is a fantastic price because it's a high quality light and you're getting that included 21700 battery. I think this is a good light for search and rescue. It has a really good spot on it, but also a really good flood. It's good for hiking, camping. They could be good for bike riding, even just keep it in your car, a homeowner. But all right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. If you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.